Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the XFFL Show. Of course, this is episode number 7 in the books for us. If you can believe that, I certainly cannot believe it. Unbelievable. We're already past week 4. We're on to week 5 of not only the NFL season, as I say every week, but the XFFL season, which is much more important to guys like me, where we have a team like the Jets and they suck constantly, or if you're a fan like the Giants, which is some members of this league, maybe your team is doing better in fantasy. Maybe they're just the same. Yeah, it's pretty much the same, or better, but yes, week 4, a lot of ups, a lot of downs, and a huge up to a certain somebody. And I guess let's break it down. Let's see how things played out in week 4 of the XFFL. And of course, let's start with me. And the New England Nexus, they defeat the New York Potato Skins 134.48 to 102.36. Justin Herbert, 21 points, but it was Terry McLaurin, the true MVP, 30.3 points on the day, 123 yards receiving, 2 receiving touchdowns. On the other side of things, Tom Brady didn't throw a passing touchdown. Yikes. DeAndre Hopkins didn't make a touchdown reception. Yikes. Marvin Jones was a bust. And everyone else besides Jonathan Taylor just didn't live up to potential. You really hate to see it. Another matchup. The North Carolina Carpetbaggers defeat the Rochester Revenge 137.12 to 108.92. Aaron Rodgers, 24 points on the day. Pretty darn good. Austin Eckler, nearly 30 points as well. Without Christian McCaffrey, wasn't a problem for Zach Phillips and the Carpetbaggers. On the other side of things, Rochester Revenge, can't blame Patrick Mahomes. Almost 33 points on the day. You can blame, Tyler Lockett, Chris Carson, Trey Sermon, and then Cincinnati defense, only 1 point. All right, moving on. The Alpine Extreme versus the Big Ben Blackbeards. And the Extreme take this one 112.24 to 102.62. Lamar Jackson nearly 20 points. Alvin Kamara only 12. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire and a late trade came up clutch. 19 points for him as well. The other side of things, Dak Prescott did fantastic. 27 points. DK Metcalf, 16. Zeke Elliott, 20. It's just everyone else just didn't live up to potential, including Mike Williams. Only 1 catch. He's been dominant so far this season. Is this a slip up? It's probably for 1 game. Get back on track next week because Chargers still did pretty darn good for their team. But yeah, both teams at 2-2 down there in Texas. 1 7th and 1's 8th place. Sorry, Derek, that you didn't move up the ladder much more. Yeah, it happens to the best of us. Next game, the Riverhead Blue Waves, also in a very close battle, defeat the Charlotte Woo Outlaws 128.26 to 121.52. Russell Wilson, 22 points. Keenan Allen, only 10. But Derrick Henry, that Jets defense, no Julio Jones, no A.J. Brown. Yeah, as I say, no problem. 25.7 points there. Dawson Knox, a late pickup for him. 20.7 points. Will he become the starting tight end of the Riverhead Blue Waves? Who knows? Anything's possible because anyone Anthony picks up just ends up doing well. On the other side of things, Josh Allen, 21 points. Pretty darn good there. Saquon Barkley, 29 points. That's also really good. Kind of just Cooper Kupp. We're so used to these 25, 35-point games. Only 11.4. So, again, take it for what you will. But if Cooper Kupp obviously goes off for even just 8 more points, we're looking at a completely different scenario. And Anthony would be 2-2. Mike would be 3-1. It's all chaos here in the XFFL. And speaking of chaos, and speaking of just, oh my goodness, we had a record-breaking performance. The Cleveland Clowns defeating the Malone Mutiny 198.72 to 113.88. Kyler Murray, 22 points. Tyreek Hill, 47.6 points. My goodness. Deebo Samuel, 35.7. David Montgomery, 22 points. DJ Moore, 31.9 points. Absolutely crazy. On the other side of things, Jalen Hurts at 28 points, respectable. Chase Edmonds, 17. Kareem Hunt, 16. Devontae Smith, 19. Again, on paper, it's not that bad to get 113 points. You're obviously looking for that 130, 140 range, but 198.72, that's just, it's unbelievable. Again, record-setting performance, breaking the previous record held by Zach Phillips in 2019, 198.72 points. Is there a possibility this will ever be broken? Yeah, obviously, there's a possibility. We kept saying this for previous shows, including when Anthony Carragher of the Blue Waves was on. His lineup definitely has the power to do that, but case in point, the Cleveland Clowns. And that's with Nick Chubb only going for, I believe, 11 or 12 points. Imagine Nick Chubb goes for 20, or his normal 20, 25 points. We're looking at a score that probably will never be beat. I mean, just to hit it on the head, DJ Moore, perfect. Deebo Samuel, perfect. Tyreek Hill, perfect. Kyler Murray, perfect. David Montgomery had his breakout game this year. Perfect. However, when it comes to the Cleveland Clowns, you see at the bottom of your screen, David Montgomery out for 4 to 5 weeks, which is definitely troublesome if you're A, Bears fan. I'm sorry. And B, if you have David Montgomery on your team. I do not have on any team, so lucky for me. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how the Cleveland Clowns and their owner, head coach, and captain, Tom Walker, kind of take that step forward, knowing he's not going to be there for the next month or so. So a blessing to get the record and get the win, but just heartache and just terrible timing is the best way I can put it. But yes, as week 4 moves past us, we, of course, are moving to week number 5 in the XFFL. And I'd say this every week. There's always some fantastic matchups. Some have personal vendettas. Others are just trying to one-up each other. And some, they just don't know they're playing until they show up and watch the Thursday night game with the Rams. A little old school, Mike Sims Walker jersey. Rams Seahawks. And then just randomly like, oh, I'm playing you. Well, no need to fear. You don't have to wait till Thursday. You can check right now and see our first matchup for week number 5. And I guess we'll start with me. And unfortunately, it's not looking good. Riverhead Blue Waves versus the New England Nexus. Right now, Logan Thomas is questionable. Probably not going to be playing him. Justin Herbert versus the Browns. I don't really like that either. Just a lot of I don't really likes. On the other side of things, Devontae Adams, I do like. Derrick Henry, I really do like. And Dalvin Cook, if he plays to 100%, I really, really like. I don't think I'm winning this game, but at the same time, if I do, I'm going to be a very happy person. But I give my chances maybe 33%. I don't know. Nah, probably like 10. I give myself a 10% chance. All right, next matchup. The Alpine Extreme versus the Charlotte Woo Outlaws. Two men that have been in sort of a BS rivalry since 2011 or 2012 because Derek went to the Giants game. Mike went to tryouts for Sports Rap Live. One got the gig, one didn't. And ever since there, they've been bitter rivals to the very end. And really good friends, too. Let's talk about the game. Lamar Jackson going up against the Colts. I really like that. Calvin Ridley against the Jets. Anybody against the Jets. I really like it. Pains my heart to say that. Adam Thielen versus Detroit. Again, really like that, too. Odell Beckham Jr. is kind of that questionable situation of if he gets targets and he can catch it, he's going to put in the work and give you some decent points, or he's going to blunder. Yeah, here or there. Other side of things, Josh Allen versus Kansas City. Again, I keep saying this. Kansas City defense, I'm not going to say it's trash, but it's average, if not below average. So I like that. Julio Jones still questionable. so we don't know what's happening there. Saquon Barkley versus Dallas. Anytime the Giants play Dallas, it should be a very decent game too. And can T. Higgins stay healthy and play and actually do something against Green Bay? Who knows? When it comes down to it, I'm picking the Alpine Extreme to win this game just based off of matchups. Adam Thielen versus Detroit. I like it. Again, Calvin Ridley versus the Jets / anybody versus the Jets. I like it too. Our next matchup, Cleveland Clowns versus the Rochester Revenge. Again, no David Montgomery for the Cleveland Clowns, who will step up in the Clowns' place to be the running back number 2. Or even if it might not even matter. Might not even matter. I mean, Kyler Murray versus San Fran should be a tough matchup. Nick Chubb versus the Chargers. Chargers are a really good defense. Not many people talk about their defense. They're a pretty good defense. DJ Moore versus Philadelphia. That's something to look forward to. Sam Darnold and pretty much anybody on the Carolina Panthers offense should have a really good day. Other side of things, Patrick Mahomes versus Buffalo. I really like Buffalo's defense, so he may struggle just a wee bit. But again, Patrick Mahomes. Lockett versus Rams. Don't really like that. Diggs versus Chiefs defense. I really like that indeed. Yeah. What's also done, again, another thing, Justin Jefferson versus Detroit. And just based on some matchups, even though, Tom, you scored 198 points last week, it's a whole new week. I'm going with the Rochester Revenge in this one, just again, based off on matchups, not even projections points, because I think Justin Jefferson can do a lot, and I think Stephon Diggs can, even though he's had breakout games before, I think this could be a really huge breakout game for him and the Bills as well. Kind of put themselves at the top of the AFC, even though they technically are at the top. You know what I'm saying. All right, next matchup. North Carolina Carpetbaggers versus the New York Potato Skins. Aaron Rodgers going against the Bengals defense. They have a sneaky, kind of good defense, but also can have a hit or miss. Kind of depends. Chris Godwin versus Miami. Give them all the points. Going to do good. Eckler versus Chargers. I don't really like it. But Najee versus Denver. I kind of like that in a way. On the other side of things, Tom Brady versus Miami. I really like it. And again, if he throws to Chris Godwin, it's a mute point. It cancels out. So be it. Hopkins versus San Fran. I'm kind of iffy on that. Swift versus Minnesota. Kind of iffy on that. And then Hollywood Brown. I don't know. On paper, it's kind of even. But in my heart, I'm going with Tom Brady and the New York Potato Skins / them going against the Miami Dolphins defense. Miami's just abysmal. They're absolutely horrible. One of the worst teams. A surprise worst team, I must say. Again, Tua's not in, so I guess it's not really a surprise that they're doing that bad. But in our final matchup of the week, the Battle of the Pirates, the Scallywags, Blackbeards, the Malone Mutiny versus the Big Ben Blackbeards. Who will be reigned and coined the captain of the ship that is the XFFL? Half of the Cowboys offense, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Ezekiel Elliott, again, going against the Giants defense. Should be good, I would say. On the other side of things, Jalen Hurts versus Carolina. Again, Carolina's got a really good defense. Don't sleep on them, so that might not be the best way. Devontae Smith versus Carolina. Cordell Patterson, though, versus the Jets. Your viewer, personally, right here, look at me. If you were to tell me that Cordell Patterson was going to get 34 points last week as a running back / wide receiver, aka just a catching running back, absolutely insane. Can he do it again? Absolutely, because the Jets suck. James Robinson versus Tennessee. That might be kind of a sneaky play in there. Tennessee has been very vulnerable. Obviously, the wide receivers being out, but I still think there's an opportunity for James Robinson to go off. I'm looking at this. I really want the Mutiny to get a win. I don't know if it's going to be this week, though. I'm going to go with the Big Ben Blackbeards just for the fact that New York Giants defense is not that good, and you're going to at least hit with two of the Cowboys, whether it's Dak and either it's handing off the ball or, CD Lamb's catching it. So I guess that's my prediction. And all my predictions for week 5 of the XFFL. And again, I appreciate all of you who tune in on a weekly basis to listen to my lovely voice and my lovely opinions and takes. Or maybe they're not lovely to you. Maybe you disagree. Sound off down below. I would greatly appreciate it. And I appreciate all of those who show their support as well for this show. Again, what are going to be the storylines this week? Who's going to be crowned the captain of the XFFL in terms of being a pirate? Can the Cleveland Clowns outdo themselves with 198 points? Will anyone ever crack 200? And will it be roll waves or roll over waves this week as they face the New England Nexus? Probably roll over, but nah, probably roll. Roll waves, roll over waves, don't matter. Nexus probably going to lose. Thank you again for tuning in, and I appreciate it again very much. We'll see you next week for another lovely episode of the XFFL Show.